Today on Oz, convinced he lived a past life.
I get goosebumps hearing this stuff.
Proof reincarnation may be real.
The death certificate, it looks like, was wrong, and Ryan was right.
How does this happen?
Plus, 31 clever ideas to organize your whole life.
This is an insanely good idea.
Some ideas are cheap.
This one is free.
Coming up next on Dr. Oz.
This is Ryan Hammond. At just 4 years old, he began having visions, remarkable and inexplicable memories that he said belonged to someone else, someone who died before he was born. Today you'll meet Ryan, who says he's convinced he lived a past life. Reincarnation exists, and he's been there before. It was back in 2009 when Ryan, just a toddler, started telling his mother tales that could only be described as incredible. The 4-year-old insisting that he had been alive before and actually needed to leave his Oklahoma home and visit his other family in Hollywood. But Ryan Hammond has no other family in Hollywood. And yet he described living on a Los Angeles street that had the word rock in it. Even more astonishing, he recalled vivid tales of days on Broadway as a dancer in the 1920s, before moving to Hollywood in the glamour of its heyday. Ryan says he remembers acting alongside Mae West, drinking with Rita Hayworth, and almost getting pummeled for chatting up Marilyn. His mother, Cindy, was puzzled, even worried, because these memories seemed impossible. But Ryan's stories were so detailed, so extensive, so insistent, that out of desperation, his mother checked out books on old Hollywood to help her son. In one of those books, they found the photo that changed everything. A publicity shot from the 1932 movie Night After Night, starring Mae West in her film debut. Ryan pointed to one of the men in the photo and said, simply and definitively, "I found me." That man, Ryan's mother would learn, died more than half a century ago. That was the turning point that sent Ryan's mother searching for experts to find out if all her son was saying could possibly be true. Examining more than 50 of Ryan's statements to verify his memories, the experts began unraveling the mystery behind the little boy convinced he lived before. Ryan and his mom, Cindy, are here. So Cindy, when did Ryan first tell you that he thought he belonged to somebody else?
When he was about 4 and a half, he had started having just extremely bad nightmares. He would wake up in the middle of the night screaming and crying, and didn't know why he was having them. And then one night he said, "Mom, I have a secret. I have something I need to tell you, but you can't tell anybody. You can't even tell Dad. I think I used to be somebody else." So I just kind of got real silent and thought, well, I'm going to listen to him, because I didn't really know what to say. It really caught me off guard, just really shocked me. And he started telling stories. And the first story he ever told was, he said, "Mom, I had 3 boys. They weren't my boys, but I gave them my name." And then he went into all these details about how he'd been very wealthy, and he'd lived in a much grander house, and he'd had a swimming pool, and he had lived in California, he'd lived in Hollywood, and it was just mind-blowing. I didn't know how to even answer him. And then every night there was a new story, and this went on for months. And I had read a little bit up on it because, I'd seen things on TV before about children that thought they had a past life. So I started studying it, and one of the books had mentioned that if you went and got books that talked about the places they claimed to be from, that it would kind of soothe them, it would kind of, help them get some closure to see that the places they were talking about had really been real.
At this point, did you have a belief maybe in the corner of your mind that this was just an overactive imagination?
No, it was something that you couldn't explain. His vocabulary would change. It was just so adamant that he wanted to go home.
Let me ask Dad, if it's okay. So Ryan's father, Kevin, is here. And Kevin, when you heard these stories, what did you think was going on? Are you convinced, at least were you convinced that they were real?
Well, I didn't know what to think at first. I've been in law enforcement for a long time. And when I have interviewed and interrogated people from burglary suspects up to homicide suspects. And everything that Ryan was saying was true. I didn't have any doubt in my mind. It wasn't just because he's my child and I believe him because he's my child. It's from my experience that he was telling the truth.
So let me ask if I can. Brian, did you know who you were? Did you know what your name was?
Not when it started.
You didn't know your name?
Yeah.
You just knew something wasn't right, but you remembered things. Okay. By the way, the name of it ultimately was?
Marty Martin.
Marty Martin. Someone that, we didn't know, and none of us knew of before today, probably in America. There's a name that had been maybe one long ago known by a few people. So to prove that he was Marty Martin, Ryan kept a track of his memories. This is all the information that he could remember about Marty Martin. So I've got the list. This is the original list. If you can just read a couple of these that you think might be examples of what you thought you remembered.
He was in New York when he was on stage. He worked for an agency. He visited Paris. He had a little girl. He lived in a big house. His home had a swimming pool outside.
And the list goes on. There are 55 things here I see. Now, Cindy, at this point, in the back of your mind, there must have been a fear that something was wrong. These are pretty vivid, specific recollections.
Yes, because Ryan didn't even sleep through the night until he was 9 years old. He was 9 years old before he would actually sleep all night long. So they were very vivid. It was almost like living with somebody that had Alzheimer's.
So what do you do when you don't have an answer? You start asking around. So Cindy was looking for answers. She turned out to Jim Tucker for help. He's a child psychiatrist and author of the book, Return to Life. Dr. Tucker, please join us if you don't mind. Now, Dr. Tucker is very well respected in this area. He's spent over a decade tracking hundreds of children who claim to have had past lives. So you've seen this story play out in many ways. What was it about Ryan's story that caught your attention?
Well, yes, we've studied a lot of these cases, actually over 2,500 cases at the university over the last 50 years. And they typically do involve very young children who start talking about a fairly ordinary life. Now, Ryan gave more details than many of the children do, but what really made his case quite unique was when he pointed to this picture of an obscure person in the past and said that's who he had been. And it was this Marty Martin, of course, and it turned out that Ryan had said many things that did fit for Marty Martin's life.
This is, I get goosebumps hearing this stuff. I don't know how the rest of you feel, but most people, I always think they'll have reincarnations of, as Cleopatra, as a king, some famous person somewhere. But this is an unknown extra in a movie that most of us have never seen. You probably never thought of seeing.
When we started researching the movie, the only thing that you could even find about most of the actors were their date of death and their date of birth. There were no pictures.
Dr. Tucker, you went through, you had 55 things that you showed of the nature we just talked about that were true that he knew. Is that right?
Well, that's right. So as you say, people have this idea that people talk about being Cleopatra or whatever, but in the cases we study, these young children, it typically is somebody who's very obscure and ordinary. Ryan actually, as a 4 or 5-year-old, made over 200 statements of this guy who lived 50 years before, and of course we weren't able to confirm a lot of them, but we did confirm 55.
So what was the strangest of all the predictions that Ryan made?
Well, one that he seemed to have been off on was when he said one time he didn't see why God would let you get to be 61 and then have to come back again as a baby. Well, we got Marty Martin's death certificate, and it looked like that he was 59. That's what the death certificate says.
That's the death certificate, and it does say 59.
Yeah. So I looked into it. Ryan had talked about a daughter, and I met Marty Martin's daughter and talked with her. She said that he had been 61, as Ryan had said. And then I looked into records. I found 3 census records, as well as listings for 2 marriages, and all of those showed a date of birth that would be consistent with 61 and not 59.
That's unbelievable.
So the death certificate, it looks like, was wrong, and Ryan was right.
How does this happen? I mean, you're a psychiatrist, you're a medically trained doctor. How do you reconcile our training with something that seems like a phenomenon that way beyond science?
Well, we approach these cases in a scientific way and try to determine what has happened. And I think we can now say that we have good evidence that some young children have knowledge of a life from the past. The most straightforward explanation is that this knowledge is memories, that they remember a life from the past, which would mean that when the previous person died, that there was a part of the person, a mind part, that included memories and emotions that continued on. And it suggests that for all of us, there may be this mind part, or if you're thinking in religious terms, the spiritual part, but this mind part that doesn't have to end when the physical body dies, but may well be able to continue on, and in cases like Ryan's, continue on into another life.
This is one of those days that just could change your life forever. I didn't realize there was that much information about this even. So Ryan, let me turn to you a little bit. You've been through a lot trying to make peace with the fact that you have deep memories. Are you happy you went through this?
Yes, I am.
Well, what did Mr. Martin do that you're glad you don't do now? What did you learn from his life?
Greedy.
Greedy?
I'm not greedy.
And he was greedy?
Yeah, pretty much.
You remember that from watching him do things, or he would say it to himself and you'd hear that?
Yep,
Both?
both.
Like what would he do that was greedy?
Just not spend time with his family at all.
Like not spend time with his family.
And just work and work.
Yeah, unbelievable. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Mom, Dad, Dr. Tucker, congratulations on your work. We'll be right back.
Coming up next, has your world become a disorderly mess? Do you struggle with organizing everything around you? Clear the clutter and make your home more functional. Insanely clever ideas to organize your whole life. Coming up next. All new Oz. Funny man Mario Cantone.
Me and my big mouth.
Sharing too much information.
Why do we have bad breath money?
And other embarrassing overshares. All new Oz. That's coming up on Monday.
So, does the sight of this closet make you cringe? Look carefully. Does it look like your closet? You wish it looked a little bit more like this closet? Wow. If you consider yourself to be a disorganized mess, then I'm helping you out with almost no effort required. Today I've got 31 insanely clever ideas to organize your whole life. And to help us out is organizing and gadget guru Steve Greenberg. Why do so many folks struggle with organizing themselves?
I think because it gets overwhelming. You get into your house and it's just like, oh my God, it's filled with all this stuff. It's so cluttered. If you tackle like one drawer at a time, a drawer, then a closet, you can slowly cover the whole house. But just to look at the whole thing, it's like, I can't do this.
Thursday, I asked the audience to submit some photos of their messes. So I'm going to show one I picked. This is a fridge. Now, who does that belong to?
Oh my God.
Please join us. Please join us. It looks like an eclipse of the fridge in there.
Oh my goodness.
There was so much stuff in there, you blocked the light. What's your name?
Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Does your fridge look like that all the
Oh,
time?
I'm so embarrassed. Actually, not all the time, but most of the time on the weekends when I have company.
Yeah.
And I then buy all this food. And this refrigerator happened to be, I had company staying over for a couple of days and I got sick with the flu. And then my husband was doing everything. And when I finally got into the kitchen and looked at it,
Unfixable.
I went,
It's his
oh my
fault.
gosh.
It's
I had
his
to take
fault.
a picture. And then you needed the picture.
So I got one question. I couldn't tell because it was so full in there. Where do you keep your bottles normally?
Wherever I can fit them, because some of them go in sideways, some of them go straight up and down. There's never enough room for the bottles.
Steve,
It's
please
a
help.
mess.
Come on over.
Okay,
Help us.
we've got a solution for
Okay.
you. The problem with when you look at the refrigerator, you can't see what's going on inside there. And also you're wasting space. Not only do you put stuff on top of the shelf, but under the shelf. Let me
Amy?
show you what I mean.
Well, you ready? This is an insanely good idea.
Insanely good.
Okay.
Boom.
Bum,
Steve,
bum,
walk us
bum.
through it.
Take a look. Right over here, we have a magnetic bottle holder right here. So you see the bottles can go right up there. So now you're using more of the space, plus you can see where they're located.
Fabulous.
Great
Fabulous.
idea. And this is good. I'm gonna hang on to this.
Back pocket.
Yeah,
Might
there we
come in
go.
handy.
Okay.
All right. But it's I like the idea because folks can get that little attachment there, simple to do, and it might help you a little bit. You got to do a little triage in your fridge.
And you also have now more room,
Absolutely.
because
And
otherwise you're piling things on top of each other.
you can put space underneath there that you can now
Yes.
use, and you can see everything, which makes a big difference.
That's great.
Put your
That's
beer
great.
back, Steve.
Okay.
So they-
Okay.
The children are watching.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank
All right.
you.
Take a look
Thank
at
you
this
very
next
much.
bit of clutter. This clutter I recognize very well because this is actually in my house.
Dr. Oz.
It's not my clutter. That's Lisa's side of the bed, her bedstand. But I know this tangled mess
of cords exist everywhere else in America. So what's the clever idea here?
Well,
insanely clever idea.
It's not only some ideas are cheap that we're showing, this one is free. You can't be better. Free is always better
I
than
like
cheap.
free.
So if you look at the way bread is attached, there's these little clips on the bread and there are these twist ties. Both can be used to help organize your cords. You can take the twist ties and actually do what we did right here. You can strap up the cords, the extra slack with little twist ties, easy to do and free. And then you can use these thingy clips right here. I don't know what they're called exactly, but you can actually
No one does. We could not find it. What's this called, audience?
Anybody know? I looked to try to Google it and I couldn't find it out. Thingamabog.
Thingamabog, yes.
I'm calling him thingy.
Honest to goodness, could not find what these were called. Please put it on my Facebook page if you know what that thing is called.
I want to know too. Tell me on Twitter. So I put this on, so you can write on it like TV or cell or whatnot. So then you put it right onto so you can see what the cords are located. So you can see what you're pulling out, what you're connecting, what you're disconnecting. Both are free. They're in everybody's home already. Doesn't cost anything.
I'm going to buy one of these for Lisa.
Nice just buy her bread and then she can use it.
All right, next. Here's a photo of Lisa's bathroom. And Lisa's joining us here.
Different Lisa.
Different Lisa. Not my wife, Lisa. So, how many of those products do you use every day? I mean, they're all over the place.
I technically don't use them all, but my problem is I know I'm going to need it eventually.
Yep.
So when it goes on sale, I buy.
And you store it on your countertop. That's your storage area.
Oh, don't even under my sink. I have a lot under my sink.
Oh, gosh. Come walk over with me. See, I went the insanely clever idea.
This idea is super simple because it actually lets you see all your products and gives you that extra real estate. Your countertops, there isn't a lot of space around the sink or on top of the toilet. Here's a place you can. These are basically just a shoe rack, that you can buy for like $10.
Oh, yeah, they are.
And you can just hang it on the back of your door, and you can get all your products in there. You can see where they are, and they're off the countertop, so it's nice and clean. I don't have quite so many products because I don't have such nice hair that you have, but I'd like to have products one day. But still, this is a great way to organize all those products in your house.
You like that idea?
I like that. I can see me
like
using
$10.
Yeah, and I promise my bathroom. I clean it up. I'm off on Fridays. I clean it up on Friday and Sunday.
This is yours. She's not going to use it. That's all yours.
This is yours, absolutely.
All right. Now, listen, I wanted to put these ideas to the test. I wanted to see the clever ideas that the organizing guru himself utilizes in his own home. So take a look.
Under the sink is often a lot of wasted space, but check this out. I have an expandable shelf here that you actually build around the plumbing so you can get some added storage space right under the sink. Now I have a lot of keys. One way to organize them, I put hooks on the back of my cabinet door. Very simple to do, puts all my keys out there, and this is really a cheap solution.
So how have these organizer secrets changed your life?
Well, you know what? I kind of think, and I don't know if there's any science behind this, but if your house is cluttered, your head is cluttered. You come home from a busy day, you walk into a cluttered house, you can't unwind. It's sort of the Zen thing to do, to unclutter your house, unclutter your mind, and just be free. That's my belief.
Well, you've done it yourself. All right. You can find the rest of these insanely clever ideas on DrOz.com. I'll be right back.
All things Oz are online. Watch the show clips that you love and exclusive content that you won't find anywhere else. Hit play at DrOz.com. Coming up next, her health was too far gone to make a change. At least that's what she thought. Meet an inspiring woman who turned her health around, and now she's helping others do the same. A life transformation we can all learn from. Coming up next.
Many of you at home feel like your health is too far gone to make a change. The woman you're about to meet used to think that way too. Not only did she turn her health around, but she became a certified personal trainer to help others do the exact same. Meet Suzanne.
Growing up, I was always the chunky child. I've been battling weight my entire life. It was in nursing school that, strangely enough, that's when my weight started to hit its highest. By the time I was married, I weighed 225 pounds and I just ballooned from that point on. My biggest downfall was crunchy foods. Anything that was crunchy and salty, I just would devour. One day I went to the doctor and he said, "You're on the cusp of being diabetic and having high blood pressure. What's holding you back?" And I realized I was holding myself back. I left that office that day and started walking, and eventually walking led to running. Throughout my weight loss journey, I was always watching Dr. Oz. Every show offered helpful tips, like taking a tablespoon of almond butter just prior to eating your meals.
The fat will slow down your digestion.
Or drinking oolong tea to help improve your metabolism. Or like how to make healthy, crunchy snacks like kale chips.
These kale chips have a total sodium content of 22 milligrams.
Now I make kale chips every week. Leading a healthy life was therapy to me. The more I exercised, the better I felt, and the weight just started to fall off. I'm proud to say today I've lost 100 pounds, and if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Suzanne is here, more than 100 pounds lighter than when she started this journey. You want to meet her? Yeah! Come on out, Suzanne. Well, dance today, you're exercising. You ever danced exercise?
Oh yeah, Zumba.
You do Zumba too?
Yes.
Is that every day? So how has your health changed since you left that doctor's office?
My life's just transformed in the last few years. My healthy habits have just overcome all the unhealthy habits that I had. My blood pressure is normal, my cholesterol is normal, my borderline diabetes is gone, and I'm just a healthier, happier person.
Go back to the very beginning, that first visit to the gym. What was that like?
That was probably one of the scariest days. I mean, at 300 pounds, any gym that you go into, you're just intimidated. They're fit people, they're exercising, they're maniacs, and I just didn't feel like I fit in. And I was scared to death, but I joined the right local gym and got surrounded by all the right people that helped me and supported me, and the journey continues.
It's a big part of your message. Come on over here. I'm going to show people exactly what you've done, because they can do it too. And it starts slow. You remember this race? It started real slow on this one. These are all the races you've competed in. I got pictures of them. You're literally going to see the weight come off in these images. So you're struggling at first. Here you are a couple years ago. And then here you are, all smiles after your first 5K. And then you're running with the masses, keeping up with everybody, right? You're even swimming, right? To put the numbers on the shoulders, they can tell who you are in the water. Yeah. Then you're running in a fairy costume. What was that about?
That was the Disney 10K in January.
Yeah, good. You just like the fairy costume. And now you're coaching others. You went from being dragged along by others, and now you're coaching them. So all these examples, not just of you succeeding, but helping others with success as well. So you become a certified personal trainer.
Yes, I have.
How is your ability to empathize with your clients, the fact that you actually have been through this, make you more effective?
To me, that was key. It's scary. The reality of it, what you're facing, and that journey, that you have to be strong and you have to want it. But it's so possible if you want to believe in yourself.
Well, you're not only convincing me, but you've been convincing people who you've been training for a while. So I got a little surprise for you. They came together and made a little video. They wanted to say thank you. Will you watch it with me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Here's your gym.
Hi, Suzanne. I want to thank you for what you do for everyone here at our fitness center.
I have lost 60 pounds, and with Suzanne's help and support, I know that I can continue this path.
She helped me along my journey, and I have since lost 80 pounds.
Thank you for inspiring so many people. You're so selfless in the way you do that.
You have encouraged us to look at different ways to stay young and healthy in our retirement years.
Thank you for your inspiration, Suzanne! Yay!
How does that make you
Worth it, and just, I wouldn't be here without every single person that just spoke. Every single person that thanked me, I have to thank them, because without the support and the love of the people in my life, I wouldn't be here.
And you are worth it, you always were. So if everyone at home, listen to Suzanne's story. Thank you for sharing yours, by the way.
Thank you.
If you transformed your health, I want to hear from you. Share your story on my Facebook page with hashtag OzNation. We'll be right back.
Coming up next, semi-homemade star Sandra Lee is here, pairing her healthy signature cocktails with money-saving meals. And they're all for under $5. Delicious dinners and drinks to keep you looking and feeling younger. Coming up next. All new Oz. Funny man Mario Cantone.
Me and my big mouth.
Sharing too much information.
Why do we have bad breath money?
And other embarrassing overshares. All new Oz. That's coming up on Monday.
No Known for her semi-homemade cooking, Sandra Lee helps you save money with her money-saving meals. Today she's here with delicious meals to keep you feeling and looking younger. And the best part, they are all under $5. Welcome, Sandra Lee.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Nice to see you. Mwah.
Now, you may all know that Sandra loves cocktails so much she has her own line of festive beverages, and her shows always end on one. So what is the deal? Why are so many folks interested in enjoying themselves in cocktails?
Well, so I have a segment in all my shows called Cocktail Time because it's the best time of the day. And I think it's because cocktail time just means you get to relax and you kind of get to enjoy the end of your day or the weekend with your friends, and it's a happy time. There's no stress. We all need a little less stress. Yeah. And that's why cocktail time is such a wonderful time of the day. And I now put it in a bottle.
Oh.
So you can get it wherever you want.
Which we'll meet in a moment. And I've asked Melinda, Maureen, and Kathleen, 3 best friends who love to go out and love cocktails. They're tasters. Are you guys ready? Now, I want you to be very discriminating over there. Don't just be giggly and having a good time, just even though it's cocktail time. Just enjoy yourself, but I want honest feedback on these things for the viewers, all right?
You got it.
Let's get to it, Sandra Lee.
Okay.
We're going to start off with something that is an anti-aging cocktail. It's called the Cucumber Smash. I love the name.
Cucumber Smash. It's like a spa in a glass. This is wonderful for girls' night out, girls and guys. Okay, in here is the Cocktail Time key lime. Now this is made with infused with real key limes. It is blue agave, silver tequila, triple sec, real cane sugar. Go ahead, knock yourself out. Gluten-free, 100%, and under 150 calories a serving, and it tastes great. Just saying. It's good, isn't it?
I clogged my straw up. It is superb. And cucumbers decrease inflammation, so it makes sense.
So in a blender, if you want to make this smash, it's, you know, margaritas are America's #1 cocktail. You put in your ice, 4 ounces of the key lime margarita go in there, and 4 cucumber rounds. You blend it up, and that's all you do. By the way, the back of the bottle are all the cocktails you can make with this, but you can also just pour this over ice and have your own cocktail time.
By yourself. Not
No,
by yourself.
together.
All right. Now, what are you pairing it with for us here?
Well, it depends on the day. Some days you need one by yourself. Okay, so this is just a beautiful shrimp wheel because whenever you're cocktailing, you need to cocktail responsibly and eat something, right?
They wanted me to share this. I promise I'll share this with you. They're gonna rush the stage.
Okay, so shrimp cocktail right here. What this is pink grapefruit cocktail sauce. Now, this is pink grapefruit juice and chopped up pink grapefruit. In here is also chili sauce, a little bit of celery salt, and horseradish.
I get the little zing. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, what do you guys think?
Oh my gosh,
Delicious.
amazing.
So good.
Refreshing.
That wasn't
and it
hard.
definitely reminds me of margarita. It's delicious.
How about the food? You like the food?
Food's delicious too, yeah.
The cocktail sauce
we
was
have
delicious.
to try the food.
You haven't tried the food. That's what I thought. The shrimp can be pretty expensive. How do you get it, make it affordable? It's gonna be under $5.
Well, I always shop the Sunday supplements and see what's on sale where, because a lot of grocery stores will use something like shrimp or other proteins and make that the loss leader of the week, meaning they don't take the margin on it, the profit on it. They make it up other places because they want to get you in the stores. Right. So look for your sales, and shrimp is a great one too.
See, I was trying to trip you up. I was sure this is more than $5 a serving. It's $4.96 a serving.
That is true.
I don't know how you knew that. Show off.
You want me to talk about money?
No, but that's right. The second item that is going to help your skin a lot is the Mango Beach cocktail. What's the secret to this?
Okay, so in here is just some ice. You want to use just mango puree. You want to use chunked mango. Goes in. Do you want me to make you one?
Yeah, let's make one.
Okay, go. Okay, there's mango. In here is yogurt. That is vanilla yogurt. That's the deal. And then you're going to use a little bit of puree. I want you to put the lid on that. And then I'm going to have you just whiz it up.
What's this stuff? Oh, that's a shot glass.
This is next. Hold on. Oh, good. You know how
trust
to do
me?
it. Yeah, I do now.
Oh, I like that feeling.
Okay, you ready to go? Now here's the deal. This is when you could serve it to someone who's maybe your designated driver or someone who's underage. You always want to drink responsibly. However, if you want to turn this into a cocktail, it is really simple to do. This is called a Mango Beach cocktail. The beach part of your cocktail is either tequila or it is the key lime margarita. 4 ounces only per serving. 4 ounces. Remember that number. Cheers.
It was good.
I'm putting this in here.
I can't drink anymore. I can't
Actually,
finish the segment.
here.
I'm storing my words.
You gotta have a little something.
All right.
Dr. Oz getting down with the bad cocktail time.
And what are you pairing it with here?
Okay, so here's the deal. These are beautiful prosciutto and mango wraps. You could use peach if you wanted to, but this is prosciutto. You lay it out. You take watercress, toss it in a little bit of and a little bit of Caesar salad dressing that's been sweetened up with some agave. I'm into agave lately, right?
Yes.
Or honey if you don't have agave. Put that in here, a little bit of Parmesan cheese and mango or peach, wrap it up, you're done.
I need a vote here. What do you think?
Delicious.
Really good.
The Parmesan is really good.
And the mango is great for your complexion. And the best part of all, it's $4.02 a serving.
Do you
That's
really
the
want
pairing,
that?
by the way.
That's really
I'm
good.
giving you prices for the pairing, all of it together. All right, finally, strawberry pina colada.
Okay, so in addition to the key lime flavor cocktail time, I also did a strawberry cocktail time. It's made with the same agave tequila. It's also got real...
It's good.
It's infused with real strawberries. I'm just saying. Okay, here's the deal. In here, of course, is going to be, in a blender, I want you to put ice. By the way, you could just pour this over ice if you want to. But put ice in a blender, put your cocktail time, the strawberry in a blender, and you whiz it up, and there you go.
Usually, I think a pina colada is one of the most fattening beverages you could have.
Depends on how you make it.
It does, I guess.
Everything depends
So
on
how many
you
calories
make it.
is this, if I was going to, for my friends over here are partying it up?
All of our cocktails are under 150 calories a serving.
150 calories?
Yeah.
And what are you going to pair it with?
Here, and by the way, they're all in the back of the bottle.
Yeah, I see. They're all in 150 is the max. Okay.
4-ounce serving.
And what are you pairing it with?
Okay, so these are our polenta rounds. Now, white bean dip. You put a can of white beans. I want you to rinse them and strain them.
That's the best.
Into a food processor. Blend it up with some garlic. I like a little olive oil in there. Also, go ahead and put that on a polenta round. The polenta rounds, oh geez. See, this is what girls in Middle America are doing, which is why cocktail time is so popular.
So what do you guys think of this?
Oh my God.
Wasn't that the best?
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. This is going to be a staple for me during the summer.
Did you not like anything? You liked everything.
I did. What can I say?
Right. The best part about this.
Happy birthday.
It's about $3. $3 for a serving. And I gotta say, keeping it affordable and low calorie, I'm in on all these things. They're talking, but if you want to find these anti-aging cocktail meal recipes, you go to DrOz.com. Be sure to pick up a copy of Sandra's magazine, Everything Made Easy. It's on newsstands now. Be right back. This is really good.
How do you fill your cart with healthy Oz-approved foods?
I circle around the outside. In our store, that's where all the natural foods are. And I make sure my children have a snack beforehand. Reduces the craving for junk food.
Share your tips on Dr. Oz's Facebook page. Next, Shahs of Sunset star Reza Farahhan. How he struggled with his sexuality and body image for years. What he did to overcome his obstacles and turn his health around. Plus, his favorite workout moves that could help you too. Next.
The people you're about to meet are two stars of the hit Bravo reality series, Shahs of Sunset. And everyone on my staff has been talking about them. Reza and Asa have dealt with lifelong struggles, including major issues with body image. Through life's challenges, they have learned to love themselves and live like no one's watching. Only, in their case, millions are watching their every move. Please welcome Reza and Asa. Thank you very much for coming.
We're so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Reza.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Oz.
Yay!
I'm so happy to have you
We're
here.
so excited.
Thanks
for
having
us.
A lot of people watch you all the time. They see how you're living life to the fullest. What's going on when you're not on camera?
Are you exactly the same thing, basically? We're exactly how we are here, on camera, off camera. It's the same thing.
Reza, if I can, let me talk about your background. So you're Middle Eastern.
Absolutely.
Proud gay man.
Yes.
This is not always an area where cultures come together well. Why is it so important for you to be out and about and public about your feelings on this issue?
You know, Dr. Oz, growing up, I had a lot of friends who didn't make it to my age. They committed suicide. And I realized that it gets better. And if you can just hang in there and make it through the hard times, you'll get to a place where your family loves you, your friends love you, you can have a career. And I told my family I wanted to participate, and they're like, oh, why are you going to expose yourself to all the criticism and all of that? And I was like, you know, if everyone thought that way, no one would make a difference. I can take it. If it helps one person hang in there,
good for you.
then
So how did you first come out to your family? How long ago was that?
Oh God, Dr. Oz.
I
I came out in stages. The first was to my sister, who is brilliant. She's a psychotherapist, and I'd gone to get a facial. The facialist said, "Let me clean up your eyebrows," and I didn't realize that meant taking a huge dollop of wax and removing the middle part of my gigantic unibrow. So I come home, and my sister looks at me and she goes, "Listen, there are two kinds of people in our culture that wax their eyebrows. Entertainers and homosexuals. And I know you're not an entertainer. Go in your room, take your contacts out, put your glasses on until your eyebrows grow back." And then when I told her, she said, "Oh God, parents are divorced, the brother is gay, no one's gonna wanna marry me." And I'm like, did you just make my coming out story about you not getting married?
She did. Also part of the culture.
Yes.
There are lots of young women who watch you, Asa, and they want to copy you. What message do you want them to get from watching what you're doing on the show?
You know, I really want women, young women, older women, whatever, women to know that we all come in different shapes and forms. Not everybody, like I'm not striving to be skinny. I'll never be skinny and I don't want to be skinny. I'm a deliciously curvy woman.
Yes.
And thank you. Thank you. And I think that's important to see. I think we watch TV, we look at magazines, and girls think they have to look like that. And we're all different, and you have to love yourself. That doesn't mean you shouldn't work on your fitness or anything. You have to work on it, but you have to accept yourself and love yourself.
Reza, how have you dealt with your body image issues?
Oh God, Dr. Oz.
He's still dealing.
I do deal. I used to be obese. Then I lost all the weight, and over the
there
years,
you are when you're
oh
overweight.
God, how did those pictures make it?
Oh, we have sources. Asa sent them to us.
They're horrific.
Oh my God.
That's a horrific shot. I did not take photos in those years. I swear to God, I didn't take photos.
Babe, you were Persians are not cute teenagers, like at all. We blossom in like in our 30s. Like bushy eyebrows, frizzy hair, you know, we're not cute teenagers.
But you know, I realize I'm 41, I've got a finite window of time where I can still try to look really good before it all goes downhill. And I'm gonna give it everything I've got.
But I think you both look wonderful.
Thank you.
But you've lost 30 pounds, right?
I have lost 30 pounds.
Yeah.
So I challenged everyone. I knew I needed to lose weight for my wedding, so I challenged my friends to join me. And I really took to it. I started working out with a trainer 4 days a week. I'm doing cardio 5 days a week, meal delivery, so I'm like watching my portions.
You feel different with the 30 pounds
Well,
off?
Dr. Oz, I bow down and thank you because not only because of you do I look at my poo, and I have a very
Your poo.
intimate relationship with my poo because of you. One thing, I had a mantra. Dr. Oz said, every 20 pounds that a man loses, his penis grows 1 inch.
That's why you motivated Reza, see?
Well, the actual, it is true though, if you lose 20 pounds, you see 1 more inch of
Right,
it.
yes.
So it's the same difference.
Right.
So what's the motivation for women then? Something like, you know, equal.
The women, I want them to be like you, I just said earlier, deliciously
Aw,
curvy.
see?
And as
Thank
long as
you.
you feel delicious, I don't care about the rest of it. But I'll find some equipment. I haven't thought about it
That's
yet.
kind of funny.
So you got a little workout you want to share with us?
Yes,
Come on over.
yes.
I'll walk you over.
Perfect.
I don't know if you can do this dressed like that.
I'm gonna do it. I'll do it sideways.
Do it
Gotta wanna,
sideways?
You gotta
flash
show off the booty, Dr. Oz.
I don't want
That's
to flash
right.
the audience, so I'm
Come
gonna.
over here then. All right, so this is called the goblet squat.
This is the goblet squat, Dr. Oz. So if you have a kettlebell at home, great. If you don't, grab a can, grab a jug, grab a pail, whatever. But this, you hold it upside down, like so, and you want to sit back like there's a little stool under you, and then you get right back up.
Asa's showing off now. Asa's
Challenging for me.
And then squeeze on the way up. Let's get it. Dr. Oz, I have a bone to pick with you.
You do?
Yes.
Now what did I do? It's about poop again?
It is not about poop.
Raz, how many more?
You keep going.
No.
Dr. Oz, you're a Middle Eastern man. You should be embarrassed. I saw a picture of you from Movember. You were trying to rock a mustache.
Oh, look at that.
Dr. Oz!
Where'd you find that?
I brought you, you
That's like a
exposed me.
semi-mustache.
I brought you a little present, Dr. Oz.
that's awesome.
There you go.
What do you guys think? You like this?
I love
Yes!
You can see Reza and Asa on the Showers on Sunset every Monday night on Bravo. Be sure to watch them answer our Oz 5 questions exclusively on DrOz.com.
I love it.
You like it?
all new Oz. Funny man Mario Cantone.
Me and my big mouth.
Sharing too much information.
I want to know, why do we wake up in the morning with what they call dragon breath or halitosis?
And other embarrassing overshares.
Jessica writes, I get acne on my butt. How do I deal with buttony?
Talk about embarrassing.
You have personal experience with it?
Yeah, I've had buttony.
All new Oz. That's coming up on Monday.
A few weeks ago, one of swimming's iconic Olympic legends, Amy Van Dyken, was a guest on the show. She told us all about turning the injuries from an accident that nearly killed her into an inspiration. Now, I've been keeping up with Amy, and I'm so happy to share some good news. Her husband says while using an exoskeleton machine, remember, she couldn't walk, she was paralyzed. While using this machine during her weekly rehabilitation sessions, Amy was able to graduate from a walker to crutches for stabilization. This is a huge step towards hopefully one day walking on her own. Congratulations to Amy. The Dr. Oz Show family is very proud of your progress. Now, my friends, it is time for In Case You Missed It. First off, money-saving meals that are not only delicious, but also keep you looking and feeling younger. We talked about a strawberry pina colada with white bean polenta. Now, the pineapple contains enzymes that help make the skin more elastic and improves your hydration. And again, most pina coladas have a ton of calories. This thing had around 150 calories. Very smart move if you want to have some beverages, but you also want to pair it with food. Polenta is a low-carbohydrate food with vitamin A and C, which might delay the signs of aging because a lot of that's due to free radical damage, and this helps prevent that. The best part of the remarkably nutritious meal is that it costs under $5. Next, Oz Nation, let me talk to you. You may feel like you have gained too much weight to make a change and get healthy. But I'm here to tell you it is never too late. One of the most inspirational viewers out there, Suzanne, shed a whopping 150 pounds because she decided enough was enough. This is her before, and this is her today on the show. Now, Suzanne says overwhelming love and support help propel her towards her goals. If a buddy is just beginning their journey, a friend of yours, just grab their hand and walk next to them on that treadmill. I love that advice. I think you're all capable of achieving incredible things too. And don't forget, be careful of dubious people online that make it seem like I'm endorsing their products, because I don't. To see a full list of our trusted sponsors and partners, you can go to droz.com, and I'll see you next time.